I found my grandpa's fishing vest. Probably got it from Kmart or somewhere like that. A little big, but tighten the sides of it, so. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day. It's nice and chilly out here. A little bit of a cold front, but not too cold. Nice and windy. I was trying to make a worm fly, but I messed up, but I kept going. And the shape and the proportions are way off. But you could see, got this like stripe or spiral rather. My hands are so cold and so dry. And nice, the two peacock curls in the front. My hands are frozen solid, but the back is just some orange yarn. And what I was trying to go for was, it's called the worm fly. I found it on this website, Shetland Trout, and I'll show you. That's what I'm going for. Here's the recipe. So I'll read the descriptor. Okay. So the original worm fly was basically a red tag tied in tandem, which I would be very surprised to find in any fly box nowadays. This variant is a firm favorite of mine, however. Don't be put off by its name, as tied slim and sparse, this is an incredibly versatile pattern which will work all through the season in a variety of different roles. It is an excellent early season pattern when fished over shallow rocky bottom. It is a great fly for late evening work, and it is certainly worth a go in a big wave. However, it is when fishing with a sinking line that the worm fly really comes into its own, and where it has fished for me all of the islands. This is one of those flies that seems to be especially attractive to bigger trout and has done very well for me in this regard over the years. I was given a variant from Colin Wiseman in the early 80s, which was tied with black hackles instead of red or brown. Colin swore by this pattern in Girlsa, which I also wanted to look up. I've never heard of Girlsa. And Girlsa, Girlsa map. I'm not sure. Let me look up Scotland. Maybe it was a typo? I'm not sure. Girlsa. Girlsa. And the other thing I needed to look up real quick was a red tag fly pattern. So I know what this is based on. Okay. A red tag is a versatile fly pattern that is used to catch trout and grayling in rivers and lakes, and sea run brown trout in saltwater. It was originally developed in England in the 1850s as a dry fly for grayling. The red tag is effective because it mimics aquatic insects like mayflies and caddisflies and triggers fish's predatory instincts. Okay, I see it. So this is the red tag. And she might give this a go also today. And that's the worm fly. So just a double decker, and here's my sad attempt. I used the wrong hackle. I used a lot of the wrong stuff. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, Sircon, Steph Carson. Hello, Cartoon Video Mesty. Pretty good here in Southeast Florida. Learning to tie flies and starting to plan out, the rest of my life, I guess. And landed on this as something that I could definitely do for the rest of it. Today I spent making more dubbing and found a bunch of my old fur. I used to collect vintage pretty extensively, and I had a ton of fur, all very, very old. However, one of the dogs got to this and it was destroyed. However, I don't throw much anything out. Hello, Codeblock. Codeblock just got me some black thread and I'm real stoked on that. But, so little tufts come out and I've just been putting these aside. But for dubbing, I mean, nice and slow. I don't have a coffee grinder, so all this I've been making by hand. Like, quite literally, the orange. I cut pieces and pulled said pieces to the point every individual fiber was disconnected. It doesn't destroy a coffee grinder because you're not really cutting it in the coffee grinder, you're just using that to mix it. And you can also use canned air. I have neither, but made some really nice dubbing. And the acrylic has a nice sheen to it, so it almost looks like super, super micro, like ice dub from afar. But, and then so like adding some makes it spectacular. And it's got some more colors of acrylic. This is a rabbit acrylic and some sheen stuff I found in some mohair yarn. However, I dropped it after brushing a dog. And got a bunch more. So I have some proper dubbing, just trying to make what I can. And I'm sure my eyes can definitely, you could tell I've been staring at little pieces of yarn for the last 2 days. It took 2 days to make this. And again, I'm just pulling it. So I got some wool for wet flies, because I read that this sinks and it absorbs water like nothing else. This is rabbit acrylic and that sheen. And this sheen, I'm not sure what it is, but it was in the mohair. So I have a skein of mohair somewhere. What did I do? Oh man, it's up there. It's the mushroom basket. But the mohair had like a spiral, and one spiral was this purple and the other was this orangey, rusty, coppery, shiny, super thin fibers. Really nice to pull apart, and this, just a pinch of this added to other things, is really nice. There's dog hair in that one though. This is acrylic from a pom-pom and some more orange acrylic so I could put the rest in this. Just been trying to load up orange, really nice orange. And it's just basic yarn. And I have a ton of yarn, so I'm more than happy to make it or send any colors to anybody so you don't have to buy a whole skein of it. And I guess another mix. I used a bunch of this last night. I actually made this mix. Code wanted a woolly grubber that sank and was really heavy. I'm selling hairs, yeah. Yeah. This is just about everything. I got a ton of vintage shells, animal teeth, feathers for like craft supplies. I live in Florida swamps, so there's like a lot of nature around. And flies for fishing, which slowly getting to the point where I could follow patterns, but not quite there. I need more time practicing and testing them. But like did this one last stream. However, my feather is just a little ratty, so I want to remake this. But the striping didn't come out so bad. Slowly getting it more and more even. Sometimes I forget to check the one side. They actually come out better when I make them on stream because I could watch the camera like a mirror. A few others that I'm quite stoked about. there's this really painful orange caterpillar here, so I've been trying to make that, but I need more black. So what I think I'm going to do is put black tinsel, wrap that around it also, and just have a little bit of orange sticking out. But oh my gosh, that's the best I've ever done thus far, hackle-wise, which that's what these feathers are. So when I get that down, I'll be able to produce a lot of caterpillars. And last night I made a few of these. Just trying to get some basic ones. I really like how the mohair on the bottom kind of turned into legs. But it's just a black seed bead, rabbit hair, acrylic, and that mohair sheen. It looks like a mosquito or something. Hello, PN. Holy crap. I'm not even kidding, but I tell people all the time that I come across as a female Mr. Bean, or I feel like I come across like a female Mr. Bean. I don't really rewatch my streams at all, and I spend a lot of time at this desk, and I feel like, you know, we're humans, and social creatures, so, well, so isolated, thought it would be wise to maintain some live streams. If we are social creatures, great way to socialize, but yeah. No shame in my game, as my friend's cousin said once, like 20 years ago. Oh yeah. Wool, really nice green, but it's like chartreusey. Another interesting wool, this was, the fibers feel much thinner. And I did burn some to make sure it didn't melt, so these are definitely wool. And acrylic, this stuff was so thin, I could hardly get any separated. So that's about as much as my patience would allow. And some more wool. And rabbit, which is the funnest to accumulate. I had just been taking any fur jackets or scraps and brushing it. Ending up with a ton. And this stuff mixed together, like, I don't know if you could see that. Yeah, a little bit. Kind of like an oil slick or peacock. My hands are usually quite dirty. Glue and hand tools. Maybe I do more mink. The mink and the rabbit is really nice to add to stuff. Well, I'll continue on making more. And then I just have a bunch of random poofs of brushed out yarn. It really works. I'm not sure how much water it absorbs. I'm trying to learn that. Like the wool I save for the wet flies because of the amount of water it absorbs and how quickly it does. Acrylic absorbs water too, but more slower. I also have to dig out some soft hackles. I pretty much only have rooster feathers, and I know hen is primarily used for soft hackle. However, I feel like I read about rooster feathers being very multi-purpose, and the soft hackles are webby within the tendrils, and the dry hackles are very like when you bend the feather, they stick right up essentially. This has been so nice. I do not have OnlyFans, no. I have an OnlyFans where I tie flies in a hot tub. No, I'm just kidding. Eating corn. I suppose I do that. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all like corn? Like corn? Do you mind if it comes from a can? That's get little pinches each time. So that's the reason why it takes so long. A coffee grinder makes it very fast. Got a bunch of mixes. I'm not really sure what I want to try to tie. Have to find. Whoop. Save these. These little tufts are already ready to go. So I guess grab here and then move all the under fur out of the way. We have some nice tendrils, which still learning like what fur is used for what, and each material has different behaviors underwater, but also different like absorbency rates and that kind of thing. So slowly learning what everything wants to do. So I'm trying to think. Need a red hackle. Maybe. Do you think this will do? It's webby, but not too webby, and it's that perfect color. I do think it's dry hackle, however it's so thin. I think I'm gonna try this one. There's a few patterns that I really want to get good at, and this is definitely one of them. Well, two of them, red tag and the wormfly, which I have to write that down. I started to, but I could not for the life of me remember what it was called. I wrote worm, but not wormfly. And red tag. Slowly trying to jot them all down, and then when I redraw them, I'll have a nice little book. Gonna try to do some watercolor of them. So I'll probably do the red tag first. Oh. Could I perhaps just do a dry version on one of those curved hooks? Red tag fly pattern, dry buzzer hook, because I don't have regular hooks right now. Let me grab the woolly bugger real quick. So this is what I came up with for the bass. It's not very flashy, if you will. The dubbing is the wool and some sheen. I think it's all wool for extra absorbency so it sinks. And the bead is just some metal beads that I had from crafting, and quite nice. I tend to, if I'm getting like a bunch of them, I try to get the ones that have a seam, because this seam allows you to pry them open. You can not only use them for covering knots in stretchy bracelets or jewelry, but if you can't get them on a hook, you could just open the seam, and they have some nice weight. I can weigh it for you. But for instance, I'll show. Couldn't, and I needed the most weight as I could get. I did hide a little bit of lead wire underneath, but the lead wire is so thin, so you can't get this past that curve. It's just getting hooked, and there's not enough. It's a very small. So you don't have to pry it open completely, and I have a few different methods to try to pry them open. But see how that's slightly open? That allows you to slide it right on there. Now you can have a big old bead on a little hook. And you can get them at any craft store, spacer beads, quite metal. I have some on a scrap. I had this shirt that the neck of it was beaded, but the shirt was really ill-fitting, and eventually it got stained up. And however, I washed the shirt so many times, none of the beads ever corroded, they never discolored, so I saved them all, and I've been using those for random things. And a lot of modern jewelry supplies corrode and discolor very quickly, and So I've been using those beads, but I can't find the scrap of it. And I have it with a scrap of a 1960s dress with the most iridescent, opalescent beads like possible. And I think they'd do really well in these scenarios. So been digging for that today, and just overall organizing. I think spent a few days just like going for things, and then a few days organizing everything I went through. But and I'm also trying to think if my days of Call of Duty are over. I can't help but think that it eats up a lot of my time, and it takes up a lot of room. And on top of that, I've been relearning because my controller's broken. And so when you try to sprint, it triggers the nose butt thing, and if you sprint twice, it triggers the actual shooting, which very funny. I don't know how that happens. Like this, if you push this, it triggers like everything on this side. So, you know, I have a habit of just learning around stuff like that. And the last time I couldn't sprint, that toggle was broken. But this time, so I've been relearning. So went from being not too bad to like really bad because I could hardly aim or anything. So I'm thinking if it's not time to just kind of take it out of the room. And yeah, it's a hard one. But and it's become such a nice little practice during the day because it wakes you up pretty instantly, and that's the aspect of it I really appreciate. Because even in the morning, if you can't wake up, you could hop on a quick game and your mind is wide awake. You have to do like a little bit of strategy, like on the spot strategy before you even had coffee. I really like what are you searching for here and there? Wait, what? Please sing a song. Oh, you don't want that. Oh, what? Math is so confusing. It's always talking about X and Y, but oh boy. Oh, I might have to adopt that. That's a really good one. I wish I could tell the few jokes that I have, but the world is just not ready yet. I feel like calming down a little bit. So, I don't know rightly how to start this pattern, because sometimes I'll find a pattern and there's just one picture and then the recipe, and other times, well, no, so I'll find a pattern and it's just a picture and the recipe, so I'll look on another site to find like maybe a step-by-step and like each step documented and photographed. However, sometimes the patterns will be slightly different than the like because there's so many variations within the same pattern, and it's really limitless. And I think I'm gonna try this. There's a few on this page, like the Hadlands sea trout killer I think would be really beneficial here, and that is orange or red cock hackles, red floss, pearl mylar, white bucktail. Also, I just finally looked up jungle cock. And that's what the eyes are. A lot of flies you'll see really there's plenty of false eyes and feathers or speckles that like are perfect to replicate eyes. However, these I see absolutely everywhere, and that's what the jungle cock is. And very expensive, very expensive. There's a few different bird's feathers you could substitute for them. that I've come across thus far. However, they do print them on like a waterproof paper. I'm not sure what they're made out of, but they do make print-out ones. There's this one fly I really, really want to try. It's called... what is it called? I have it up. I bookmarked it. But it was one of... I thought it was some, like, wild feather. However, it's not. It's just a light blue hackle feather with a neon green hackle feather in front of it. And it produces the most glowing, vibrant... Where is this thing? It's called the Supervisor. The Supervisor. Yeah, there it is. Really nice. Oh, what? That's good to know, Grim Tidings. Because same thing with the crochet patterns. Like, I can't yet read a crochet pattern and just execute it from the list. I need the step-by-step imagery just for now. However, pretty soon, like, I find crochet patterns written in the backs of books. It would be so sick to just... But isn't that incredible? So that's the jungle cock, that false eye, and that's over a light or a green hackle feather, and then that is over a light blue hackle feather. It just produces the most glowing, vibrant, yeah, salmon fly, which that has a whole slew of gorgeous, just the color combinations. Wow, that's nice. A lot of orange I was noticing. Somewhere, I think I see. Yeah, this. I was just looking up the materials and recipes, and this Florida. I couldn't figure out what GP Tippet tags were, but this search result, I had to leave it open because it had some of the most beautiful, and it seems to be mostly salmon. Hey, David McPhail. I've been watching a lot of this guy's stuff. Always looking for more channels. Man, that's money. And now anytime I see jungle cock flies, I'm like, cha-ching. But this one is going to be the, I'm gonna try to do it properly this time. Last time it was all over the place. I couldn't really figure out how to do the hackle because I, can't figure out like which is which is I know hen feathers are rounder at the tip of the feather, however I can't really choose, or they all look pointy to me right now, and it's trying to figure out like wet flies versus dry flies, and really, yeah, and I think I go too far into the gate for this area. Let me put this on. So got some new black thread coming. Never been so excited before because the black thread that came in a kit for some reason is super brittle. So I've been just struggling through it, which I'm sure that'll come up again. Did a slight bit of a deep dive in thread and like the dernier and the aughts. So I was watching how to set up a streaming rig because I really don't know how to rig a fly, and slowly getting closer and closer to running down there and testing them. And I broke part of the leader off, and this one, the actual line, the flowing line, doesn't have a loop in it, so you have to knot it on directly. And yeah, feathers are okay. So these are not these are not rooster feathers. These are not hen feathers. Because they looked webby when I did that, like down here, but no, they're not webby at all. But they're the softest ones I have. So I was gonna try to just use like one wrap of this until I could get some hen feathers. Yes, for this, and just do it as, because it says hen tied. Freaking beautiful. Oh, I have to prep some orange. Just been using orange acrylic yarn for those kinds of tails. Saddle, okay. Shoot. Yeah, I don't have a single hen feather. Ow! At least I don't think I do. That's some random feathers. Okay. And these, I believe, are same thing with these. Wait, let's see. Oh, is that webby? See how they're stuck together? Would that tell me if it's webby? If they stick together? Tie in by the tip. Okay. Deep. Okay, good. Because that's like the identical color that I really want. So, orange. It's just probably the diameter. I'll just brush them out. Right. I never know. I really wish there was a fly tying group or club. Oh, okay. It came from this little thing. And then this will be the rooster part, or roosters. Nice. I didn't know it was. But because then there's this. I am very much in love with the grizzly feathers. Anything white and black in nature, just I really gravitate towards. Like corn snake bellies. And the corn snakes here. Always even that up a little bit. So really stoked for black thread. Ooh. I'm gonna hurry up and cut this to get out of the way. Hopefully get like a little angle. Let me also grab some coffee and then I could do the camera closer because I try not to, it's hard not to like look like a little gremlin when you're focused on something small like this. And I'm not sure if this yarn is the best for this, however, I do really quite like how it looks. So it has, oh, okay. I don't have like thick wire, so what I've thought would be good would be this slightly thicker, like, it's not wire, it's like rounds. It's fiber that's wrapped in gold stuff. And really quite like it. And then a piece of wire going the opposite, just to kind of bind things down a bit. So use this since it's already here. Operator. Joe Croce is stuck in my head. Okay. Trying to get everything in as nice as I can. Oh, shoot. Alright, so I'm gonna add the hackle feather when I get there. Last time I wasn't sure when to add it also. So, yeah, let me grab some coffee because I feel like it'll be best to have this suit. Oh my god. I just look so tired lately. My hair is just like, I am a female, so like when I you know, I don't even care too much. It's just like on camera. It's like, oh man, forever look a mess. Anyway, grab some coffee. Hot. Alright, the warm fly. this filament that I used for the is very brittle. I find the glitter filaments are a bit brittle. And all the things to hold the thread fell off. I never finished it because I couldn't really sand it. What the hell? Couldn't really sand it because it was so brittle. Fine for solid things like the glue box, holding up quite nice. But the thread holder, anything like this, I'm sure could. Some of them, yeah, some of them has a ton of weakness going down it, and you can see, really pretty, especially when you coat these with resin. This filament, really nice. All right, so I'm gonna go. It says put one peacock curl down here, and I don't know if this is gonna be long enough. Oh. Honestly, that surprised me. A lot more length than I thought I was gonna get from that. It just feels like it's short sometimes. Same thing with the hackle feathers. I should have done a little better with the herl. It's just gonna look a little sloppy, I think. Maybe next time I'll make sure that I'm kind of striping the herl rather than wrapping it going straight across. So I did watch the fight. Hi, Stuart, the fish whisperer. You can always do a Dublin glue. I appreciate that, Grim today. Grim tiding. Oh my god. Sometimes, yeah. Grim tidings. Oops. Really appreciate that. When I go to my hometown, I hopefully I'll have some finished ones. I'm gonna see if the local tackle shop would be interested in, because I do plan on doing a lot more saltwater patterns. And the ones that I'm gonna bring there, I put glue in like every layer. We got some big fish out there. I did sell one on Marketplace today for $4. A deceiver. Chartreuse and white bucktail. Well, I guess I can't really say I sold it because someone inquired. I haven't gotten a response yet. Someone wanted to buy it on Marketplace, so promptly responded, but I haven't heard back. I did watch the fight yesterday or the day before with Code, which I don't really know what to say about it. The fights before it were quite good. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do the wire. This is just to make sure everything stays. Alright, so let me grab this. Use this and the little helper to just hold things out of the way momentarily if need be. Man, I wish I didn't forget this. Where's that poking device? This thing, so simple and so useful. Don't want this feathers to snap or anything. Okay. Oh no. Oh, I'll get some of this in. Oh shoot, I didn't think about that. I have to go around the wire. So I wonder if that should be done in 2 parts. And let's see. I also never know if I should counter wrap hackle or okay, so it's just lightly hackle pliers. Let me see what the watch hours are. It is 2,456, which blows my mind. Hopefully get working on a little set. I think I am gonna be moving COD out, unfortunately. It's just, it eats up so much time and I could really be using that desk as a set. And looking up, why aren't you going where I want you to go? Been looking for some more documentaries on every aspect. I found a really good documentary on fly fishing, and gosh, it was amazing to see the like the ancient Egyptian temples, for instance, with fishing. I've you know, dug through Egyptology pretty much my whole life just out of fascination, and never seen that. Like fishing with a pole and everything. I just never know what to do with my hands in this situation. I'm just gonna tuck this going up. Because that one was just a small amount of hackle anyway. There's a wire that I have to kind of go over and around. This side is double hurl. My name is Hurl. If I was an erotic dancer, my name would be Peacock Curl. Okay, so I need some of that. Ooh. When you hear that smack on metal, that's frogs. Human tree frogs, to be exact. Trying to also bulk this front bit up a little bit so it's nice and uniform. Human heritage. That's what I think of this as. I was reading about the bone hooks and white horsehair. Oh, I almost ripped that out. The weather change is really making me feel like $1,000,000. Okay. Okay. 2 peacock curls. I'm gonna wrap that. Where's this wire? Hope everyone's having a beautiful day. The holidays coming up, depending on what holidays, but a bunch of holidays this time of year anyway. Yeah, definitely gotta figure out the workflow of this fly. I love it, but don't think I have the order. Oh shoot! So yeah, because it's like 2 parts. This one, compared to any that I've attempted thus far. I really like the hollow flies, FLEYES. Made quite a few of those thus far. The double peacock curl always looks so stunning. Oh, maybe. Yeah. It's gotta have room for that hackle. Do this real quick. Okay, let me start that over. Kind of sliding off of it a little bit. Alright. Really excited for this. It says to make this head hackle thicker than the rear. Trying to get these scragglies. Ooh, ho ho. Wow, that's how you spell Juno? Wow. You know what? I want just a hair back. Yeah. Well, I guess I gotta give up on this. Why? I just realized I forgot to wrap upwards. That's quite alright. That wire wasn't even on the pattern. I just was adding for some extra sturdiness. Ooh. Okay, slowly. Alright, I know I can't do that too often, but something's not wanting. You know what? Huh. I think I'm gonna tie this way. Yeah, I just didn't want to lay the other way at all. Let me get this. Okay. That's just the way it feels. Operator. Is it stuck on something? Oh, okay. And I don't know why I can't figure out how to tie this stuff in properly. Every time I tie it in, it just... So I'm gonna add some penetrator. And get a nice head on there. Okay. I mean, second attempt, technically. The worm fly. Do it in 2 steps, because when I try to do a wet finish, I haven't made that 2 or 3 steps. I just try to get it back there, because I cement the heads and all that. And then this thread is nice and tucked. I don't know if that's overboard or not. That's it thus far. I'm gonna try again, but maybe use a larger hook. So I don't see there's not a lot of room, but I don't know. And try to stick with these long shank patterns until I could get some wet flies so I could get back on those. Or wet fly hooks. Not so bad. Where's the other one? Do a comparison. This one I used the grizzly hackle feathers, and it's just a bit much, like way too much. And ran out of peacock curl for the back wrap, so I rewrapped it, just doing really open spirals. And then here is the doubled peacock curl. Much better. Much better. Did more of those hollow flies, but I haven't colored it in yet. And I messed up this one. I was gonna try to do like a seducer style, but I was doing it from memory, so I couldn't remember. So the hackle just, I don't know if it doesn't make much sense, does it? Over the body, looks mighty fine. My favorite one are the really thick ones. Crochet. I appreciate that, Stuart, the fish whisperer, and appreciate you, Yogi, also. Oh, hey, nice. Just a Yogi doing burpees in his basement. That is a brilliant, shoot. What the hell? Oh. How do I undelete? Oh my god. I didn't mean to do that. I just clicked it. Oh my gosh, what did I do? I was going to subscribe and I clicked the message and it deleted the message. I didn't mean to do that, Yogi. That looks like him. Okay. Saddle cool. Very cool. So now what? Any long shank patterns, I'm more than happy to try tying. Is this it? Yeah, this is, it just came out so meaty. I don't know if that's too much fiber. It came out so meaty. Nice silver. Hollow fly, just using craft fur. Did a few on a stream and then made a ton more. So got a little bit of a project going. If anybody does tie flies, and opening a little shop for all kinds of things. Gonna be getting some local stuff and just like an online bait shop. Handmade baits, so gonna be trying to find other fly tyers if they want. Because I could also tie other people's patterns, or they could ship them, or have them listed and then they ship them when they sell. It'll be like Etsy for flies and lures. That's the goal anyway. Not nice. It's just super simple. I'm very much a beginner, so it's not like spectacular, but the pearl ribbing is on both segments. So yes, it's white. There's no crystal flash, but it's like I called it like a pearly meteor or something. It's this shape. The other ones are just regular. I also did a double one with red, with pearl over red, and these ones are like your proper. They have a really nice silhouette or profile. Nice barred. Been looking at pike flies. Are they supposed to replicate like cichlids or the peacock bass? The colors are extraordinary, and that's like the color combinations. I found some zonkers on eBay, and there is some green or olivey ones, so I might try to get that. Because the pike flies, gosh, the colors, the setup, works of art. There's a flash tail deceiver here on YouTube, and hello David Cray Smith. I appreciate that. Gonna make another one of those, but I don't know if I'm gonna add the thin wire. I think that was a little bit of a pain, but I don't know, maybe it's something I should just suffer through, because my thing is, like, I think that is there in a lot of cases, because if a fish bites the feather, at least it's kind of caged in rather than completely. But that's what just did. It's a worm fly. Second attempt. The first attempt, I tried to use grizzly, but wow, it almost came out like fur. Looks like fur. This was the first attempt, and I ran out of peacock curl going down it, so I had to rewrap it with open spirals. And I found this pattern on Shetland something. It's a red tag fly. Hawaii, wow, or Hawaii, my bad. Very nice. What's your favorite thing to fish for that's Pacific? That's so cool. Streamers, that's pretty much what I focus on too. However, I don't have access to the ocean out here, just inland Florida, but a lot of fresh water. So slowly trying to branch into things that bass will go for, because I haven't caught one yet, but there's peacock bass like everywhere out here. I read it was the 1890s they were introduced. No, it was the 1980s. Blows my mind. I still could be wrong, but there's some of the most beautiful fish. I've never caught one. I've never even seen one in person. But for the most part, saltwater. I really want to perfect deceivers. These ones, I need to put more materials on it, which they're not proper because of that, I feel. But it's kind of the ones that I want to really perfect. The freaking bucktail is so hard to come by, so I've been taking a break on these until my skills get a little better, because then I can make, I plan on hanging them. I've done many craft shows for jewelry and that kind of thing. One year I did, for some reason, made like hundreds of felt fortune cookies, but I always used playing cards. They're super cheap and you could punch holes in them. They look great, and really good for little products like that instead of having to buy something. But I do like the streamers. This is still, it's another one that I didn't add too much material. I'm always convinced I either add too much or too little. But mangrove snook fly. Invasive? Yeah, that's what, another thing I was reading about I was mostly reading like how to target them, so I really want to watch maybe some documentaries on them, because as far as I also read, like they are more cyclidic, or like more like cichlids, very very ferocious. And the variation among the flies that are used to target them is pretty incredible. Like, they have the diet of an invasive, meaning like they'll eat anything. We also get the clown knifefish, but I think that's brackish, and the buck or bullseye snake's head, which is another one that I really want to catch and eat that one because it's huge, but uses a ton of food, and it's also invasive and said to be really tasty. Maybe we'll do a tube fly because I kind of wanted to do a blue and white one with a red head. Yeah. So just using this craft fur, and I cut a section out of it, so almost done with the little strip, which made so many flies. So many. And that's just one little strip out of the whole thing. And still have all this EP. It's not EP, like proper EP, but it makes some good saltwater fish. But I haven't been able to test it, so I haven't made any more of them. And I made it so long ago. But I was wondering if this would have, I haven't seen it underwater or anything, but the tie-in is one of my favorites. Maybe tie and fold. But pinched, it should happen nice. But I wish y'all could feel it. I just, because patterns that call for EP, like, they just don't look very good with this stuff. And, but for other things, it's been nice. Like, see, sparse, it doesn't look too good dry. I've been really trying to figure out patterns for this stuff, because it's not like proper EP. It's more like doll hair. It's the only thing I could really... There's one of the first ones I tried tying. I tried to make a canal one, but all the fibers are so uneven. And this did get nibbled on. I felt a few pulls on this, which surprised me. Wow. Used to be able to buy snake heads in the pet store. That's wild. Yeah, they're mean. They look mean. Used to watch a good amount of people catching them online to try to learn how to, which I still haven't seen anything like that out here. Saw something really big, but I think it was I mean, catfish, gar, pike, it could have been anything, I guess, but it was huge. And I definitely did see one bullseye snake's head. Their eyes are so odd, but I saw the eyes, like in the evening, with the flashlight, and very strange, to the point it took a long time to even figure out what it was until watching a video on the bullseye snake's head. I was like, oh my god, those are the eyes. The eyes. Alright. So, really love these hollow flies. I did find some hairline craft fur. I'm just waiting to find, like, as long as possible. Really wish I was into this one. I want to... There's a fabric store in New York that's pretty infamous from Project Runway, and right in the heart of the... But really intense craft store. It's like 3 floors. You have to take a little elevator to get to it. And it's called Mood. But they have like a whole room for fur, feathers, anything you can possibly think up they'd have. cauliflower, blue, white, and red head. So, wonder what, maybe silver. I really like wrapping the bodies on these. Something so simple and produces really nice. This time I do want to see wrapping down and then back up. That's almost like 2 layers. Maybe do it at an angle. Well, I should probably counter wrap it. Because sometimes, like, I don't get an even coverage. So, gotta try doubling it. This coated in resin is incredible looking, especially the pearl. Also, I don't have to go all the way down the hook with the thread because I forgot to add the tinsel. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay. Put it there. So that just pokes out a little bit. It's not the most necessary. Just so glad I could find something that I could do forever. Because, again, jewelry, like, there's something different about using materials and handcrafts and little techniques to produce something to fish with. Is Brian the Ties fly? Oh yeah, Ties flies. His live streams are great. Sometimes I'll pop them on just for the nostalgic music. Okay, I just need Spirit Fly. I gotta check that out. I haven't. I don't think I've seen Spirit Fly yet. Yeah, no, I haven't. There's this one channel called Stan's Flies, which I get really excited when he uploads. It's a new channel. I just happened to find him on a group on Facebook, Realistic Fly Tying, but highly recommend. Very unique flies. They're just like I want to make this one still to replicate Gambusia, female Gambusia, because they have that exact shape as this, just white. Oops. But only 337 subscribers. See the really cool. Even, oh my god, like some of these I want to tie just for gifts. throw it in a shadow box or something. Try to find shadow boxes that have an opening in the front so you can open and pull out the fly and like replace it with a different fly if wanted. Because some of these flies I really want to learn are seeping in history and have been in use for hundreds of years. And I think it would be so sick to make a shadow box with that, but it's still usable. And have like maybe a printout of the history behind it and then it hanging in front, and maybe have it come with like 10 of them, so like there's plenty to use and throw back in the shadow box. Get to bridge every craft interest I've ever had, fly tying, which is just lovely because crafting is very expansive. There's so many ways to do things and so many different materials, and it's nice to have something that all leads back to the same objective. I forgot something. Sorry about that. So just cutting some craft fur. And all this under fur, ideal for dubbing. I'm gonna have a whole palette by the end of the week. Got a nice little gradation of greens. Really want greens and oranges. little more. It's easier to set down the craft fur because it kind of sticks together. Slowly getting it all out. Oh, that's awesome, David. I don't know about costing less, but very much agree. Almost got the basics. By the time I got all the basics, I ran out of hooks, well, wet hooks, but thankfully found some long shank hooks, good enough to, like, they're actually really thick. The metal is really, and God, endless amount of patterns. I don't know how to fly fish just yet, however, plan on getting some heavier lead solder, or lead wire, which reminds me I should look at the solder. I will when I attach this. And because then I could use the spinning reel. Got a fly. Code and I both got a little, really cheap the kits were compared to what a fly combo would cost. Holy trucks. Understandable, but holy trucks. So it was sad reading through all the comments on fly materials. I guess a lot of local fly shops have been shutting down these last few years. There's already not many of them. We have one in Boca. I really want to check it out. Old Florida fly shop. These are so sick. I really like the Zonker ones too. And slowly starting to watch more and more on stacking deer hair. On eBay, there are huge pieces of deer hair. 100 by 100 square inch, which is a lot more than the scraps they sell on Amazon, because the only reason I've been sticking to Amazon is the shipping is free, and right now I'm really trying to get all the basics for as little as possible so I can move on to different colors and stuff. And the hoarding the hoarding part. Which I've always salvaged and used a lot of scrap, even with my jewelry and stuff like that. Mainly salvaged, vintage, antique, yard sale finds. One more tuft. I'll probably bar it too. A lot of things down there have that. Obsessed with little toonies, or I think something mackerel. Bonito too, I think. There's that print that they have that's like super matrix looking. I can't wait to see that. Haven't seen one of those in person since I was a kid. Anything with that print. Get some more fur. And turns out this area might, like 99% sure, is getting a Walmart. So I'll have a craft section. The area is not happy about it, which is kind of surprising to me, honestly. You got the like fancy horse crowd, but then you got the swamp buggy horse crowd, but then you got the hunters and truckers and family people. Gotta drive quite a ways to get to a store other than Publix. But people are not happy. A lot of the people out here have lived out here for a very long time, and back in the day it was all farms, so I get that. Change is drastic. New city and all. Sometimes it's a little tricky, and other times it falls like exactly where you want it. Just trim this to make it more even, because it does get pulled out. Tension indeed. Sometimes I let the thread get too wound out and I'll set the bobbin down, or I'll release the bobbin and it doesn't have any tension, it just hits the desk. And chaos. It's incredible. I'm sure that jewelry and like other crafts will adopt this method of like tension wrapping, because you could build up so many shapes. I've already planned on making some earrings. I just gotta start on them. But tied onto wire instead. I'm gonna do a few different patterns, but instead of like going layer by, well, I'll do that too, but I also want to do kind of like pulled apart versions, if you will. Gotta get a cup of water so I can not totally bad. That would be a cool. Oh no! Can't believe I left the bottle open. It'd be cool to make a kit for to like put markers and a bunch of these white flies to color. So you don't have to like tie the whole fly, you just have to color it for your area or whatever you're trying to imitate. Could have stained some more fiber, I think, on that front one. But it's just a little guy. And the silver, I feel it gives it some vitality right there. And there's two teal Sharpies. One is god awful, and one is, well, nice. So these two, and they look exactly the same until you. Yeah, what is that? Okay, so this odd greenish is this. Makes no sense. I guess this one's fine. There it is. This one. Yeah, that's a and what I've been doing is like get it on, but like use your finger, kind of gets it looking a lot better. And it's very plasticky. Oh no, I got the nose, dang it. I was trying so hard not to do that. I could always rewrap it in the red. On the sides a little bit. Can't get over that girl that at the fight, her eye headbutted. I wonder if anything came about that, because it seems like it wasn't the first time it happened. Kind of like it as is. I should have added some flash, dang it. been looking for a really fine flash for these smaller flies because the other stuff sticks out quite extensively. Huh, I might not. Man, this does look great. This was very inky, this Sharpie. Let that dry for a second. Right? I think so. I think she did win. Cause I don't know the rules of boxing. I watched mostly like MMA and so I don't know the rules of like straight boxing. Yeah, she was Irish. And yeah, cause some of them like they look just like, and I haven't looked it up to see if anybody's done that. Like that would sell like hotcakes at a concert. That'd be sick. I love markets, especially. I've never done one at well, no, I have done shows, like local shows. That's always really fun. Oh, that's a nice swoop. But yeah, I don't know about that. If that was the case, I feel like it should have been like at least deliberated a little bit more. But I haven't watched boxing since a kid. It was you know, a lot of people waited for the main attraction, but watched the whole thing. It was great. Which the fight itself, it was just, it felt more like I don't know. Like the girl with the golden goose egg, like, I want to fight Mike Tyson and I want to fight Mike Tyson now. The $1 million shorts. I don't know. I don't know anything about Jake Paul or anything, so it just was just like straight out of a movie, man. And couldn't really believe it, but had to see it, I guess. If Code didn't have Netflix, I don't think I would have paid much mind, but it was easy, and I just watched the UFC fights too, but out downtown they would project it onto the wall, and it was always really fun to get wings, and everyone would just be sitting in the back alley at this seafood bar type thing on Lake Avenue and watching UFC. It was a beautiful time. It's a little prudish now. Like, you got people posting blurry pictures of workers asking what they're doing. Like, people are like their job. So, like, blurry pictures, like, you could just hear the stink in their voice. Like, because Lake Worth is just like very rowdy. But people are posting all kinds of pictures of random workers now, because a lot of, I guess, like, posh people are moving in. I haven't seen that before, but I don't mean to talk shit, but I do. It's It's my time to appreciate change. Which I always heard my grandparents saying the same thing, how different things are, and it's just always so funny. And it's like a rite of passage, if you will, for yes, hometowns always change. Everyone's hometown changes eventually. But the comment sections are always hilarious. So not sure what I'm tying now. Any recommendation, more than happy to give any a go. Ooh, I should have done a bead. Pulled out some beads, found quite a few. One good thing about going from crafting to, oh my god, that's me. Jesus, I have a belt on. I'm like, what is it? I looked at the game, but I found nice sound in there. Brass! And I was looking at tungsten beads, and a lot of the reviews are like, buyer beware, they're not tungsten, they're brass. And I was like, shit, I got those. They are hollow, so they aren't like the heaviest, but they're not super light. And like I said, they have a seam, so if they don't fit on your hook, you can pry them open. Especially if the hook is like small, but you could pry them open just enough to slip them. I mean, you could pry them all the way open. They're really sturdy. Yeah. I can't wait. Thank you, Fierceit, who's not here, but set a scale so I could weigh the lures. I plan on putting the weight. I used to do that with earrings. So let me see. This bead weighs 40 grams. Yeah, 40 grams. So that adds a little bit of weight. Not terribly heavy. Nice small ones, I wonder. 15 grams. I roll it around a little. Yep, 15 grams. Oh, I wonder what a BB weighs. 35? Interesting. 35 grams. I kind of expected this BB to be heavier than the larger hollow bead. There is some. Yeah, this thing's sweet. Earrings are another thing I like to weigh because if you've seen how many people's like ears get ripped out, it's wild. I mean, some earrings I found in my mom's jewelry box were so heavy that you could use them to weigh like stuff down. Ooh, I'm not sure what to tie. I have to tie a mutter. Let's see. Oh, no. Okay. Mutter. No. Yeah, I cannot wait to learn that. The deer stacking is ridiculous. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I cannot wait to learn to stack deer hair because it's so structural. Let's see. Oh, wow. So let's see. Johnny. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, because you can make pom-poms with a ton of different materials. And pom-poms, to make a pom-pom, is pretty similar to like the mechanics of the getting a shape out of the deer hair. Because it's all like fibers sticking out and you're cutting those. So it makes sense. Like, okay. What is that called? Just stacking? What can you use in place of deer hair? For stacking? There's a nut spinning? Yeah, spinning maybe. Whoa. Spinning. Because one material I was thinking of is, I'll have to find a nicer one, but paintbrushes. A lot of them are hair. This one is Spampa. This is what gave me the idea, so I had to save it to maintain the. But I think this would work. Especially find some that are proper hair. Oh my god. That is amazing. Wow. Wow. Thankfully, I have a ton of at least acrylic yarns and a bunch of small skeins. I have this stuff, but it's super thin. But for tiny, tiny ones, it might do something. But, where's the... And wool, but wool sinks. It absorbs. But for wet stuff, for dubbing, started, like, brushing some of the acrylic out. Very thin. But ribbon, and the embroidery floss. I keep meaning to try that. Desk is a mess. Yeah, this is what I've been using to hold the phone. And it's just been breaking because the glitter filament is very brittle. Yeah, right? Incredible. There's also this one. Where is it? Oh yeah, this was cool to see. But really nice color combination. Yeah. I already forgot what it's called. I have the page pulled up too. between this and the other one, really like those jungle cockeyes I was looking for. I found these. But look, are they still around? This is by far the best prices I've ever found online. And I can't figure out if they're still around. Whoa. I'm really scouring for patterns. There's so many. But I really want to try a wider variety and fall into a pattern of my own, I suppose. I feel like that's part of the... Wow, it's so, like, structured. There has to be more art galleries that, like, maybe on the walls it's, like, photos of the act, and then, like, little stalls of, I've been trying to find PDFs. It's impossible. Yeah, I have to put them next to each other. Shoot. Yeah, these two right now are like, these two color combinations are wow. And that's just a light blue hackle with a bright green hackle. It's just, I can't get over this. It produces such a glowing, lively, and then, what? I'm not even a fish, and I'd eat that. It's just lovely. And I suppose this would be soft hackle, I feel like. I can't tell if it's webby looking or round looking. I'm thinking about Timu. Hey Freddie, how you doing tonight? Ewos, happy trails. Hope your evening is beautiful. Supervisor. And this, I forgot I have the page. Something like important to Maine. Oh, sweet. Better keep that page. Oh, Vermont. The Governor Aiken, that's what that one is. Which has at the bottom this guy. The Government Aiken. Try to organize these. Anywho, so not sure what this is gonna be, but I wanted to do more peacock curl. Yeah, I've been thinking about Timu. I just like for a lot, honestly. Feathers, I think, and beads probably. I haven't even looked on it, so I don't know how expansive it is. But like, I remember constantly re-downloading Wish to get random free items, and some of the stuff I still use to this day are just packs of beads. Huge packs of beads. Pretty good. Maybe I should just retie this so I can start getting this one down. But kind of want to also learn something a little simpler so I could tie a bunch of them. Which, I don't know if I could quick tie this just yet. And I am quite hungry, so it hit me like a truck. I think I will probably... I don't understand. It feels so much later than it is. 7. It feels like it's straight 11, honestly. Maybe a little more coffee. I never know what pattern to... I need to make a list. I try to make lists, but... So what is this made out of? I stumbled onto my own muddler variation by accident. I was tying a synthetic bait fish in the style of New Jersey Steve Farrer with blended kinky fiber, high tide on the top and bottom of the hook shank. I had been a little sloppy and inadvertently distributing much of the hair to the sides of the shank right on nice, and then got a little overly aggressive in trimming the fly. The muddler minnow, of course, I was interrupted by email, wanting to put email, anyway. Muddler minnow, of course, needs no improvement, but there are benefits to creating a spun head with synthetic hair. Unlike hollow deer hair, synthetic ears like kinky fiber, variously sold as slinky fiber or synthetic yak hair, are solid, non-buoyant, so you can create a fly that sinks without adding weight. And unlike opaque deer hair, kinky fiber is translucent. The colors are typically sold as white or off-white, usually out of the water, effectively mimicking the see-through characteristics of many prey species. Wild. So, so what is kinky hair? Might be able to use that. Especially, like, to do a small little guy. Formosa, that's a beautiful word. Argentina, very nice. Hello from Southeast Florida. That's brilliant. Kinky hair. Maybe that's what the other people saw as slinky hair. Kinky hair is, like curly hair, right? Very cool. Because this stuff is like doll hair. I wonder if I could do it with this, even for a really tiny one, just to get the mechanics down and see what would happen. It's just like doll hair. Feather. Well, I think I'm gonna sit here and scour the internet for some patterns, because I really don't know what to turn this into. I did want to try to make a hollow fly with these, but I don't know if... like if I'll be able to get it to go around the hook. Would this be like a less is more situation? It is quite a small hook. Just curious to what happens here. Oop, did it. I had a tiny little piece of you know, I'm not gonna worry about the flash this go around. Just more so curious if this brushed yarn will want to wrap around the hook. Maybe even like mixing the yarn with a different fiber. I mean, don't know if this is gonna work, but maybe more fibers next time. Probably gonna get all matted, but maybe not. I mean, actually, I'm trying to think of what happens to tassels, like yarn tassels. I don't even have to really bind this down, it just stays. Alright, Aztec Flies yarn. Trying to like smush the yarn around the hook. Ooh. really like red and green together. Not really gonna worry about getting that super even. Can't help but try this because the little tufts of yarn on the dust just like kept looking more and more like little bait fish. Definitely need more material, at least I think. So this isn't gonna like work, but maybe adding something to the head of it. Turn it into something else. So not quite. Just had to know. Doing it in that AP bait fish method, or like the half wraps where you attach it and then fold it and then tassel it in, I think it would be perfect. I do like the color though, the orange going into the yellow and green. But not quite. Just add a little. Oops. Whoops. Yeah, if it was half tied and then like the belly on the underneath, it would have probably worked, right? It's so sparse, you could hardly feel that at all. I had to experiment. But on that note, I think I'm gonna find some more patterns and swatch some stuff on Such. And yeah, please do feel free to recommend any patterns, materials, substitutions, feathers to keep an eye out of. And asking a lot of local groups if there is anybody with any turkey feathers or deer hair hunting area. So gonna find someone eventually, fingers crossed. So it's definitely difficult accumulating materials out here, excluding like online. But hence why I'm really definitely curious on Temu, just to get what I need to get, and a bunch of it. And yeah, on that note, happy trails, y'all. I hope you have a beautiful night. Love y'all, and Have a perfect evening and never hesitate, and see y'all tomorrow.